Hello, world. Ready to empower your community? Warmest welcome to World Humanitarian Drive's 30th episode of Inspiring Millions Show. This is the show where we celebrate brilliant minds from around the world who share with us their story, one story at a time. Today, our featured guest is Councillor Raymond Padilla, Gloucester City Councillor, Filipino Nurses Association UK Regional Director, Filipino Association of Gloucestershire Chairman. We'll get to know his inspiring story in a short while. Thank you for joining us live or on replay. I'm Viva O'Flynn, your host and Global Media Relations of World Humanitarian Drive. Now let us tell you about World Humanitarian Drive. World Humanitarian Drive, also known as WHD, is an international NGO founded in Croydon, UK, by British Indian global peace activist, entrepreneur, writer, Dr. Abdul Basit Saeed. The primary vision of WHD is to promote peace, education, and trade harmony initiatives globally among everyone across the world, regardless of race, gender, religion, or nationality, living as one family. WHD is striving for humanity. This Inspiring Millions show is your show. As always, we encourage you to engage and interact with us. Please help us spread inspiration to the world by sharing this link. Put your questions that you would like to ask our guest, Councillor Raymond Padilla. Greetings or comments that you have for us in the chat box. We'll read them later on in the show. Let us also know where you are watching this. Wherever you are in the world, let us keep you company and brighten your day as we share peace, love, and goodwill. It is the last week of August. This week is Be Kind to Humankind Week, meant to celebrate kindness, service, generosity, and forgiveness between people from all walks of life. This pandemic, with its many challenges, may have brought out the worst in those selfish, irrational, racist people suffering from fear and anxiety who have lashed out at others. These times of crisis have also brought out the best in those who share extraordinary acts of kindness and selflessness, who go out of their way to help others. We have witnessed how frontline workers risk their lives to keep life moving, how essential they are to us. In the UK, where our virtual stage takes us today, these key workers could in fact be migrants, hoping to provide better future for their families. With immigration, they also bring with them their rich culture, tradition, celebrations, including food where they come from, and vibrantly infuse it into the local community. We are so delighted to have with us a British Filipino mover and shaker in Gloucestershire who gets those with Filipino background seen and heard. According to his Twitter account, Padilla Raymond 5, he is a nurse at Gloucestershire Royal Hospital, Gloucester City Councillor, Filipino community leader, family man, and friend. He is a hardworking chairman who is committed and dedicated to bring Filipino community together in Gloucestershire. He is the regional director of the Filipino Nurses Association UK for the Southwest. He is also a Gloucester City Councillor. Let us all welcome a British Filipino community champion, Councillor Raymond Padilla. Mabuhay at salamat, welcome, and thank you for being with us here today, Councillor Raymond.
Hello, good afternoon, Viva, and mabuhay to everyone who are with us this afternoon. And I would like to thank you and all the people behind the World Humanitarian Day social media platform for this beautiful project. I believe that we are now on our 30th episode, and you are really kind of influencing your followers to do better in life, I would say.
Thank you, Councillor Raymond. So could you please introduce yourself to the world and share a brief story about you?
So I originally come from the Philippines. I was born in the central city called Iloilo, and I am married to a fellow nurse. She was here in the UK ahead of me, and then we are blessed with a 13-year-old daughter. While I was in the Philippines, I used to work as a journalist with the Philippine Daily Inquirer, and also with Panay News, which is our regional English daily newspaper. And in 2005, I got married, and I had to, I believe that where the wife is, there should the husband be also. So I relocated, and that's how I ended up in the UK. I studied to be a nurse eventually. Of course, I started as a healthcare assistant. And before that, my first job was really as a hospital cleaner. So I would say that I rose from the ranks, a cleaner and then a healthcare assistant. And I did some security work on the side, and until I decided to go for my nursing studies, I believe, which was kind of partly influenced by my being with the Philippine National Red Cross for also quite a long while back then. I became active in the community as soon as I relocated here, and I ended up as the chairman of the Filipino Association of Gloucestershire, which is known in social media as Gloucestershire Pinoys. And this is the 4th time now that I'm chairman. And last May, I was one of those chosen by the Conservative Party to run for councillor in the Gloucester City, to be a member of the Gloucester City Council. And I did run, and I won. And now I'm representing the Matson, Robinswood, and White City ward in the Gloucester City Council. So I am a part of the Gloucester City Council, and at the same time, I am one of the 3 responsible for looking after the needs of our constituents in our Matson, Robinswood, and White City ward. I also work as a nurse, as I mentioned earlier. I'm with the dermatology department, and we are very much into looking after people with chronic skin condition, including skin cancer. So that's me. Yep.
So that's really an inspiring story that you rose from the ranks and you're doing so many things. So COVID has impacted the world. So how were your tasks affected by the ongoing coronavirus pandemic?
As a nurse working in Gloucestershire Royal Hospital, we did continue with the services that we offered in the department, because much that we would like to devote all efforts towards helping with the COVID, on the COVID side of things. There's also a rising incidence of skin cancer among our population. So we tried to do that balancing act. Some of us were redeployed to the COVID areas, but some of us were asked to stay in the dermatology department so that the skin cancer side of things will also not be set aside. As a community leader, we continue to extend help. People would contact us privately, and we do our best to extend help to their families, and also we try to find out who are kind of affected, because not everyone will reach out. Some people would look at this still as like a stigma. They don't want to tell the world that they are affected by COVID, so much so that they tend to keep to themselves. But we always try to, as soon as we hear of people contracting the virus, we would start by approaching those who are close to them, and then who would eventually serve as our bridge, so that we would be able to extend help as well.
So That's a lot of activities. And with the Gloucester Filipino Association, well, Gloucestershire Filipino Association, we've also had a family picnic recently, and I have some pictures of it. So could you tell us about this one?
Oh, yes. So every year we gather at Robinswood Hill and Country Park to celebrate Philippine independence. This was supposed to be in June, but because the restrictions were still very much in place back then, we decided to move it to the 1st of August. So I would consider this as our first public event in 18 months. So there were like 200 people who turned up, and I think we are beginning to meet each other again. We always try to engage with members of the community. So apart from this, we also have the annual Christmas dinner, and we also are celebrating the Filipino-British Friendship Day in October. And we also have been promoting Filipino language for everyone to learn in this part of the country. So that's just us sharing our Filipino culture. So yeah, these were the people who came, and all smiles, I would say. Yeah.
And you also had Filipino food served as well?
Yes, so it's an opportunity as well to reacquaint ourselves with Filipino dishes. We have our traditional pig roast, we call lechon back home, and everyone had their chance to have a plate or two.
And what was interesting, you also had tug-of-war as well.
Yeah, we we always do this, and also arm wrestling. Yeah, these are two how would you class this? Two events or parlor games, would you call them, which are really famous in the Philippines. So this is just bringing back memories, really, and try to just so we can engage with everyone who are also around.
So Raymond, what were the important lessons that you've learned during the pandemic?
Important lessons, a good question, really. I think a lot of us, from what I've gathered, a lot of our friends, a lot of many in the community have again kind of appreciated the family and community, because this is where help came from during their most difficult moments, especially during the pandemic. Living several thousands of miles away from the Philippines, have kind of convinced our fellow Filipinos that we really have to coexist. We really have to have a strong network. We really have to strengthen our family values. We have to have a sense of community. At the end of the day, these are the people who would be there for us. In my ward, that's also the kind of thing I have not seen many voluntary organizations. I mean, this was the time when almost everywhere you can see a lot of voluntary groups helping. And it's just so impressive. And they were kind of nonstop. and I couldn't believe what I was seeing, back then during the height of the pandemic, how people can really go beyond and really help. So at the moment, we still are in the process of helping people to re-engage, because a lot of them are still kind of afraid to go out, because for fear that they might contract the virus. So we're just hoping that with the so many community events lined up, and I'm talking about here in the ward, we will be able to get them, little by little, and make them re-engage with the community, so that again they will have that kind of affirmation that there's this community which is ready to support us if we need to be supported. Yet I think we are succeeding. So the pandemic, in a nutshell, made us realize once more that it's important to, love our family, value our community, and also kind of reciprocate, try to give back. And it's nice to see humanity, in action.
Yes, we're learning a lot from this pandemic, and hopefully it brings out the best in us. So, Councillor Raymond, how does a working day for you look like? Could you please give us a picture of the different tasks that you do in a day?
Okay, so I will start the day by working as a nurse in the hospital. So I only do days, and I work Monday to Friday. And then as soon as I finish my nursing responsibilities, that's when I would check my Cllr City Council emails and my phone messages. And it's not really too many at times. I mean it's those who are asking for help. We can manage. We can still help them in the same way that we help those who would be under our care when I'm working as a nurse. So it's just a great opportunity to give back. And I think what's important here is just to manage your time really well. I would admit, though, that during the first several weeks when I started my role as a counselor, because there were so many things to learn, I really kind of struggled. But after 6 weeks, I think I've settled in, and I'm raring to go, and I think I'm ready to help out.
So Raymond, what gives your life purpose and meaning? What is the best thing about being you?
I give a high premium on kindness and respect. I mean, it's important that we meet everyone who comes our way or who comes up to us with a smile. We need to have that welcoming aura, because at the end of the day, it's not just us. I mean, there will always be times when we will need the help of other people, and I believe that that every good that you do will really matter in the lives of many, and it's an opportunity really, which is important to grab, because not everyone is in a position to offer help. There are others in the community who are kind of limited. Those who are in poverty, those who are not as healthy. But even so, these people, many of them, I would like to believe, are still trying to find ways on how to help. So I think it's with more reason that we should really be extending our presence for the sake of helping others and being there.
Speaking of others, I'm just looking at the messages of our virtual audience, and we have a question from Tongi Gra, and he's asking, how is the COVID situation improving in the UK?
I would credit this to is the high vaccination uptake. I I think this is one of the reasons why the restrictions have been lifted in the first place, and why we seem to be going back to normal now. As you can see, the NHS is under the care of the Department of Health and Social Care, and the government really has to make sure that the economy is still strong and vibrant, you know. Otherwise, if we have chosen not to lift the restrictions, this will result in the economy not doing, good. And of course, we all know that our NHS hospitals rely on the money which the government can invest in, and it's a difficult balance, but it has to be done. Otherwise, there's nothing to sustain the good works which our NHS is famous the world over, and I think it's the way to go. So in many sectors where the vaccination update was quite low, we just continue to encourage everyone to, this has been, the vaccines were tested. A lot of people have benefited from it and continue to benefit from it, and we're seeing the results, and I'm hoping that this is gonna be, I'm hoping that life will really again be normal. You know, we just have to live with this thing. This is something which we can never defeat totally. So we just have to live with it. We have all the precautions which we are encouraged to take on still. So it's down to individual responsibility. But as I've said, the NHS needs all the support which a good and vibrant economy can offer.
So, Councillor Raymond, what motivated you to get involved with a city government?
Okay, so I was invited to join the Conservative Party. I was invited firstly to attend a meeting by no less the Gloucester MP, who also happens to be the trade envoy to the Philippines, the Prime Minister's trade envoy to the Philippines. His name is Richard Graham, who is obviously known to you, Viv. And when Richard came up to me, he said, Ray, we would like Gloucester City to be more diverse and inclusive, really. So much so that we also want the gatekeepers of some communities to be in the city council. So I said, wow, that's a good opportunity, because after all, we need to belong. I mean, the UK has been an excellent host to all of us Filipinos, and I think my community here in Matson and Robinswood, I'm a resident here for 14 years now, and I've had no problems whatsoever, and they were. The people here have been very welcoming, have been very accommodating to me and my family. So I said, maybe it's time for me to give back anyway. And with diversity and inclusion being the priority of the council leadership, the Conservative leadership in Gloucester City Council, I said, why not? I would be in a position to help Matson, Robinswood, and White City. And I'll also be in a position to help the members of our Filipino community. So those are the two foremost things that entered my mind, back then.
So now let's go to Filipino Nurses Association UK, which has recently celebrated its first anniversary. So could you please tell us more about Filipino Nurses Association UK?
Okay, so the Filipino Nurses Association UK was organized in July last year at the height of the pandemic, and this was organized by several senior nurses in the whole of the UK. And in September that year, I was approached by the president, Ariel Lanada, who is a senior nurse at the Oxford NHS Trust, asking, because we have worked with each other for quite a long time. He's also the chairman of the Oxford Filipino community. and he said that, Ray, I need somebody who's an established community leader to head the Southwest region. And I did say, okay, I'm kind of busy, but I can be there in an interim role, just so the organization can start, and and I said yes, and we were able to organize the Southwest region. And when you say Southwest region, this includes nurses as far as Cornwall, Devon, Bath, Bristol. These are the areas. And I'm proud to say that we have been of assistance to 3-4 new Filipino nurses who were in some kind of trouble, and all of them managed to hurdle those difficulties with our help. So so I'm working as a regional director with another brilliant Filipino nurse, the person of Vanji Martinez, and we would deal with cases brought to our attention first, and then if we needed to escalate these cases, we would inform our senior officers that this case is there and that this Filipino needs help, and they will try to do everything within their means to also help. And this is already coordinating with a serious senior nursing leaders in the NHS in various areas. So I'm proud to say that the FNA UK, apart from helping nurses who are in trouble, quote unquote, they have also launched several education programs like leadership enhancement programs, and also interview skills workshops. This is to help Filipino nurses progress in their career as nurses. The Filipinos have been in the NHS for like 22 years now. In year 2000, I think that's the start of the influx of Filipino nurses from the Philippines, after recruitment managers were sent abroad to recruit because apparently of the shortage of nurses in the NHS. So the Filipinos have responded to the invitation as early as year 2000. And in the UK now, I think we have about 28,000 in the NHS, but very few Filipino nursing leaders. So much so that we decided to launch the enhancement leadership skills, the enhancement leadership program, and the interview skills training, so that we can get as many Filipinos to higher leadership roles. I think the last time I heard, I think there are only like 22 Band 8C and above Filipinos out of the 28,000 Filipinos in the UK. So it's really disproportionate. And yeah, so I think we are also one of the biggest foreign, I don't know if I was able to say it right, but ethnic minority group in the NHS workforce. So yes, it's really doing well, and the anniversary saw people like the ambassador of the Philippines in the UK attending, and also the other nursing leaders, to include Mr. Edmund Tabay, who would be the first Filipino director of nursing in the UK since year 2000. So we're getting there, and we are progressing, and we are becoming an important sector within our very much loved National Health Service.
So, Councillor Raymond, aside from being a nurse at Gloucestershire Royal Hospital, you are also a Gloucester City Councillor, Regional Director at Filipino Nurses Association UK Southwest, and Chairman also at Filipino Association of Gloucestershire. So you hold leadership positions. So what is leadership to you?
I think it's becoming a role model. It's showing our membership that it's okay to dream and to follow these dreams. Yeah. And oftentimes, so long that we are passionate about them, we would often get there. But I think the main point here is if you have that passion to serve, why not be a leader? Why not be why not be somebody who can also encourage everyone to lead, develop leaders. Yes, so it's nice to serve, and it's nice to see a lot of happy faces around, I would say.
So how would you encourage others, especially the young ones, to be a leader like you?
I think it's important for everyone who would like to be a leader to engage with a community. Yeah. Whether one would join a club, a school board, a church group, a voluntary group, a charity group. I mean, these are really important things, and these are all springboards to leadership roles. And I think it starts from that point. And people in those organizations would just be there because you are making yourself a part of voluntary organizations. For example, you are making yourself a part of that group of people who have the same vision, who have the same goals in their lives. So there's there's that tendency to just continue to progress. I mean, from being a member, seeing other people doing the same thing, it would just encourage you to strive all the more and take on bigger responsibilities, and then you just find yourself one day already serving as the head of the organization. So I think it's that you just have to prove yourself to everyone. I mean, people take notice if you're doing the right thing. They would. Even without you proclaiming that you did this and that, even if you sometimes just work from the background, people take notice, and then people know that you're a material, that you're somebody to be trusted, somebody that can push the agenda forward.
So people would take good notice of leaders. And then also, I'm just going to the messages from our virtual audience. And Happy is saying, watching from the Philippines, mabuhay. And there's a question from Win. What are the best tips for self-care during this pandemic?
Well, of course, I did this with you, Viva, because probably not everyone knows that you're the secretary of the Filipino Association of Gloucestershire. When we were in lockdown, you were one of those who pushed for social media. Really, there were a lot of events in social media which can be shared, with almost everyone, and it's just there within our reach. It's just waiting to be tapped, and I think this is one thing which has helped a lot of people when we were all in isolation, at the height of the pandemic. The other thing is, we also, while we are conscious about the impact of the pandemic to others, of course, we have to start, we have to look after ourselves and our families first. Being together, being in constant touch with our loved ones, that's just remarkable. I mean, you may have read or noticed, that a lot of families have really kind of regrouped, if I would say that, during the pandemic. A lot of people have realized that, God, I've got this beautiful family who's here to help me. What have I been doing over the last several years or so? So it's something that that made us aware that we have our family in our immediate community just within reach, and these are the people who can look after us as well as we try to look after the needs of others.
So it's important to have a good relationship with the family too. That's also self-care in a way. Yeah, in a way.
I would say so. And no matter the pressure, we still have to be kind and respectful to everyone. I mean, positivity, being positive all the time has an immense impact, you know, on everyone. So, I mean, when you start giving positive, showing positive vibes, you're making yourself, you're making yourself feel better as well. Yeah, and I think many of us have realized that by now.
Kindness goes a long way.
Yes.
So in the Philippines, August is known as Buwan ng Wika, which translates to Filipino Language Month. So why is it important to celebrate that in the UK?
I think the one thing which is needed to be done in order to preserve one people's culture is really to make sure that the language, the ethnic language is there, you know, to stay. And I am so proud that, you know, with your help again, we were able to start our own Filipino language classes here in Gloucestershire. So if you remember 2018, we had like 17 Filipino children who were born here, who enrolled in Filipino language class, and that was a huge success. And this was followed by 7 or 8 who enrolled when we started our Filipino language classes for adults. And, you know, yeah, I'm just so happy because they're not even Filipinos. Some are not even, have got no Filipino connections. And then yet they said that it's good to learn the Filipino language. There's even one who is a lawyer. And I mean, this is something which we are looking at again to make happen. The last 18 months was kind of difficult. We had several Filipino language classes online, but there were not too many who attended. The same people were there still and tried to improve on their Filipino language skills. But hopefully we'll be able to unfortunately, we were not able to prepare for the resumption this month, which is really the appropriate month. But there's no stopping us to do this in the subsequent months. So we will be able to do this still.
So let's talk about Filipinos in Gloucester. What impact do Filipinos make in the UK, particularly in Gloucestershire?
So many of the Filipinos here are working as nurses in the hospital and care homes, and some of them work in allied health roles as healthcare assistants, domestics, porters, chefs in both the NHS and the private care sectors, and of course there are also a lot who are in different sectors, and I would say that my election as a counselor last May was brought largely by the fact that a lot of people have come to know, you know, the good works of the Filipino. Yeah, I mean, maybe when I was campaigning, they kind of remembered that, you know, at one point, I was looked after by a Filipino nurse, or there's this Filipino taxi driver who was so kind to me, or there's this Filipino storekeeper in Tesco or Asda who really was there for me. And I've been telling this to our kababayans that we get to hear a lot of beautiful, nice words appreciating what we are doing on a daily and regular basis in our many roles here in Gloucestershire. But the election of a Filipino to the Gloucester City Council, I think meant that that finally there was this official embracing of the Filipino as part of the mainstream. So I don't take this as a personal credit. Every Filipino I meet, I would tell him or her that, thank you for what you've done, and because of you, I got elected as councillor. So a lot of them would say that no, it's mainly because of what you've done as a Filipino community leader. But I think everyone chipped in. I think everyone contributed. During the campaign trail, almost everyone would tell me that they have asked every member of their workforce if they live in Matson, Robinswood, and White City, and if they know somebody in that place, and I think that really went, a long way. All of a sudden, even their workmates have kind of positively responded to the request to support a Filipino running for office. So much so that I always would say that it's not a personal thing. It's the overall impact of the Filipinos in this beautiful city, or and in Gloucestershire for that matter, which caused the election of one Filipino, to the city council, and it just so happened that it's me. I mean, yeah. So for that, I would like to again say thank you for everything that you have been doing. All Filipinos in Gloucestershire County.
So, Councillor Raymond, what is your vision for Matson and Robinswood?
We are one of the most deprived areas in Gloucestershire County, and as a nurse, I really would like to zero in on ill health prevention. So much so that in October, I am planning to organize a health and wellness festival for the people of Matson, Robinswood, and White City. I have already contacted a lot of groups and asked them to be there if this becomes, a reality, just so we can really emphasize and underscore that, oh God, this is what this area needs. I mean, health, wellness, these are two beautiful things which would make a very responsible and healthy citizenry. And everyone just needs to be able to have more control over their health. So by teaching them, by showing them that actually you can always do something like this. You can always make this happen. I mean, it's down to everyone, to every individual. Still, I would say the institutions are there, but everyone has to do his or her part. So the festival hopefully will be taking place in October, and I'm just hoping that that the NHS, the clinical organizations within Gloucestershire would also be there to help us.
What can ordinary citizens do to help in building better communities?
I think by behaving as a good citizen, that's first. So we have to be conscious that we are not just bystanders. We have to do our role. I mean, even just making sure that that our surroundings are clean, being there for somebody who needs help. I mean, there are always occasions where you'd see somebody right in front of you in need of help. That's the basic things which we do for family. We can extend to community members, and of course with the necessary precaution, because we still have COVID in our midst. But engage really, togetherness. I really love that word. In fact, we have a group here which I'm strongly supporting. It's a charity called Togetherness in Matson, under Vanessa Worrell of the Redwell Center. And you know, I really give a high premium on togetherness, because when people gather, when people gather around a certain purpose, things happen, beautiful things happen. And I'm just hoping that that we will be able to you know, overcome whatever challenges that are still hounding us. Talking about COVID again, just so we can again meet and gather and do beautiful things together.
So togetherness is a really important word to you, because it's bringing people together. World Humanitarian Drive, I have a question about World Humanitarian Drive, because World Humanitarian Drive has a World Moral Day initiative to emphasize the significant need to practice morality in the minds of every individual in this world. WHD is making a petition for the UN to declare 2nd of September as World Moral Day, as it's the end day of World War II. So it's like another way of having togetherness virtually. So Councillor Raymond, in your opinion, how important is this initiative to have World Moral Day in these times?
I think it's very important in the sense that, you know, we are all equal in the eyes of the law. We have to, as I mentioned earlier, we just have to be kind and respectful to everyone. There's this beautiful Catholic saint, Mother Teresa, who popularized a line, a very good one. Peace begins with a smile. Yeah, I mean, by just showing everyone that welcoming aura, by just showing everyone kindness and respect, the world will be a much better place to live in. And I don't think there's no stronger argument than that. So I am for the World Moral Day petition or lobby, and I think that the United Nations will consider this project. This is a beautiful one. Yeah, imagine good values, peace and morality. These things are important for us to coexist with each other, especially during these trying times. These are the things that we need. We don't need hate. We don't need bitterness. We don't need insecurities highlighted. We don't need selfishness. We just have to be kind and respectful to one another. And I think we will, as together, we'll be able to do more during these difficult times. So yeah, so I really would like to congratulate the World Humanitarian Drive as you push for the World Moral Day celebration, because this is what we need in the present day. So go for it. You have me for full support.
That's a wonderful message, Councillor Raymond. And World Moral Day is happening next week already. So Councillor Raymond, what are your future plans? Do you have any upcoming projects that you would like to promote? And how could our virtual audience get in touch with you online and support your humanitarian efforts?
Well, I've got my contact details if you Google up Cllr City Council. And of course, through you, Viva, I mean, we serve in the committee together, the Filipino Association of Gloucestershire. So, and I'm just so happy that I've been given a chance to be a part of this beautiful social media program. And I'm looking forward to helping the World Humanitarian Drive make happen the beautiful things that are lined up, starting with the World Moral Day celebration. So I'm just within reach. I'm happy to be a part of the many good things that you have been doing, and yeah. So thank you for this opportunity, beautiful opportunity.
Thank you, Councillor Raymond. We have a final question that we always ask our guests. So what is your inspiring message to the world?
Be kind, be respectful, smile, always smile. Thank you.
Thank you so much for honoring us with your presence, sharing your words of wisdom, expertise, and inspiring the world with your story. In honor of international recognition for your virtue and persistently serving and inspiring humanity with your noble deeds, World Humanitarian Drive would like to award you Counselor Raymond Padilla with Inspiring Humanitarian Award, signed on the 27th of August, signed by Dr. Abdul Basit Said, WHD founder and chairman. So we're just going to send the certificate to you. So thank you so much, Counselor Raymond Padilla, for all your humanitarian works, and here's to many more.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much, and I so feel proud and honored to have that recognition, and good luck, all the best to all the people behind the World Humanitarian Drive. Thank you and good afternoon.
Counselor Raymond Padilla, Gloucester City Councillor, Filipino Nurses Association UK Regional Director, Filipino Association of Gloucestershire Chairman. We would like to share a quote by our honorable guest, Counselor Raymond Padilla. We are happiest when we are focused and serving the local community together. We rise by lifting others. We hope you enjoyed today's discussion with Counselor Raymond Padilla, that it motivated you to celebrate your heritage and roots and to make a difference in your own local community. Here on Inspiring Millions Show, we present you with brilliant people from around the world, so feel free to connect with them on social media. And together, let's make a difference in the world. If today's discussion inspired you, please like it, share it, send us a comment. Do share with us your takeaways from today. Follow us on our social media accounts. Click subscribe on our YouTube channel, WHD Media. Visit our WHD website, www.whd.org.uk, for more inspiring events. Just an announcement, World Humanitarian Drive is campaigning to the United Nations for World Moral Day on the 2nd of September. So fill up the online form. Link is in the comment section below. So then you will receive a Moral Champion certificate by email like this. Also, there is a competition for Indian nationals organized by Dr. Fazila Azad, Global Ambassador of WHD. So do check it out. And we've got many events coming up with regards to World Moral Day. So just check it out. Stay safe and healthy. These are challenging times for everyone. Please remember to have compassion. Be kind to yourself and others. To our frontliners, we salute you. We thank you for your hard work, sacrifices, and dedication to humanity. Love and virtual hug to you all. To all those celebrating their birthdays and special milestones this week, happy celebrations. Have a wonderful weekend. On behalf of WHD team, especially those working behind the scenes, WHD Chairman Dr. Abdul Basit Said, WHD Director of Global Operations, Ms. Sarah Wilson, WHD's 12 Honorable Secretary Generals, we thank you, our virtual audience from around the world, for joining us and supporting our show. This has been World Humanitarian Drive's Inspiring Millions Show. I'm Viva Andrada Uflin. Please join us again next Friday. We will have a discussion with Datin Paduka, Dr. Mother Mangalam of Malaysia, as we inspire the world here on Inspiring Millions Show.